Hey guys, Disclaimer Magic here, and I've got great news for you. You know Martin Shkreli, I guess we'll say it's S-H-K, which what the hell is that, and then R-E-L-I. I honestly think that when his ancestors came through, we'll just say Ellis Island, because that's the cliche, they were just like, these letters look pretty, let's put them next to each other. You know, cue the SJW is like, oh my god, that's actually Greek, and it's a real name, and it means blah blah blah, the planet Jupiter. How dare you mispronounce it? I mean, my name is Ebsede, and it's beautiful, and people constantly think it's not real. By the way, here's how you spell it. But anyway, let's just go with Martin. Mr. Martin S. Got some negative press, I guess you would say, about 2 years ago, because he jacked up the price of some kind of prescription drug thing. I'm not even sure it was a prescription. I think it was one of those things where, I mean, obviously it's prescription, but it's like you go to the hospital and then you need it, you know? I think it was not like, you know, your doctor says you should get on this, let's take this, ooh, this is an option. It's like, no, you're going into surgery, you need this. I think that's what it was. I'm sure in this entire video I'm just massacring the details, but do you come to my channel for extremely historically accurate accounts of biotech investment news or whatever the hell this is? The point is, he's a douchebag. He's one of the biggest douchebags on the planet because he was completely unapologetic. It's not like, oh, I care about PR. My company cares about PR. I'm going to apologize and say, oh, sorry, it was an accounting error. I must have missed a zero, or no, there's an actual legitimate reason. It was more like, hey, my other investments went bad. So now, basically, I have to make it up somehow. Oh, patients need this? With an N? Need it? Not, oh, this would be nice. Oh, this is the best. Oh, we're 10% better than our competition. It's like, no, they need this. And he raised it 1,000% or just something utterly ridiculous. I think it was even higher than that. It was just like, hi, I'm Martin. I need money. Where can we get it? Oh, they have to buy this or they'll die. Boom, put up the price. You know, done. Now, that in itself was not illegal. Spoiler alert, he's going to jail. So you're probably thinking, oh, how dare he, you know, jack up life-saving medicine to patients who need it. I mean, they are AIDS patients. In 2017, well, I guess 2015, if you caught AIDS, I don't think it was on accident. It's usually by doing something incredibly stupid, at least in this country. I mean, it's like rabies. You don't just wake up with rabies. No, you probably should have put bullets in the head of whatever the hell bit you, or carried a gun, or cared about your safety in any way. I mean, seriously, why are AIDS patients allowed to walk around? I'm sure this will piss some people off, but they're carrying a deadly biological weapon on them at any time. Maybe it's just me. I am a little bit clumsy. Also, I work with a lot of sharp objects, but I'm bleeding every other day. You know, if they actually transport a dangerous, deadly virus or bacteria from one lab to another, it has to be in a special truck with special markings and sometimes with escorts and all that. Oh, but if you have AIDS, screw it, just walk around, hope you don't bleed on anything. That just always seemed odd to me. I think it would be a little too Hitler, though, to just say, everybody with AIDS, you're all going here and living there so you can't infect anybody else. Boom, one generation AIDS is done. It would kind of have to be worldwide. But this isn't about AIDS, it's about Martin Shkreli. Can I just call him Shakira? No, that would be too confusing, and she'd sue me. Well, Martin's Securities and Exchange Commission just got found guilty of, I guess you could say, mismanaging two investment funds. I mean, it's kind of just securities fraud in general. I mean, I'm not going to read the damn court papers, but you're probably thinking, wait a minute, what does any of this have to do with Magic the Gathering? Well, amongst our community, he's way more famous because probably more of us play Magic the Gathering than have AIDS, I would hope. He decided to send a purposely inflammatory tweet on Twitter about, oh, I picked up some Power 9. Yay, unregistered assets. How great. They're expensive investments with a good upward trend, which you're wrong. But other than that, you know, he was basically like, hey, I could sell these for cash at any time, and since they're unregistered, I don't have to report them. Yay, tax fraud. Don't be that stupid. I mean, I'm old school Bitcoin community. I know what you say and don't say about certain investments in the public eye. Not that I made any money on it. I lost 1.21 million. Might want to look up that video. It's fantastic. Makes me happy every time I think about it. But this guy is just like, oh, cool. I picked up my fourth, you know, Lotus or whatever. I'm going to think about getting more. So since he's such an unbelievable douchebag, I sent him a tweet saying, oh, the reason that Black Lotuses are worth so much is because when you rip them up, there's actually pure gold leaf foil in the middle, and it's not even the card that's valuable, it's the gold in the card. I believe he either liked it or replied with LOL or something like that, or retweeted it, or I don't remember. I was like, oh, I'm honored, but also you're a douchebag. I mean, famous is famous, but you're still a douchebag. I mean, it's not like, ooh, Martin's Shkreli, whatever the hell. I'm going to take a picture. What an inspiration. Oh, he's great. I can't believe I met him. It's like, oh, Martin Shkreli, punch him in the face. But it was kind of funny that he actually acknowledged and read my tweet. And, you know, with as much of a sense of humor as that clearly displayed, he legitimately would appear to have some kind of mental issue. Like, I think he's either a sociopath or psychopath. I forgot the difference. He doesn't know or care the difference between right and wrong in a traditional sense. It's basically like the type of mental defect where you're born practically without a conscience and there's just something wrong with your head. You just don't care about other people, and then somebody like that picks up a, oh, I got rich and you can too, investing book or something like that. Oh, cool, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be Mr. Rich Do-It-Yourself Day Trader or whatever the hell he got into. I don't know his background. That's just the vibe I'm getting from him. I mean, maybe he even went to college for investing. Probably not. I would guess not. And evidently not, because the timeline that I'm seeing with this, at least in my opinion, is but then again, he did just get convicted of it. So, you know, still got to say it's my take on it so that I don't get sued. But basically, he mismanaged the crap out of like some other people's investments. You know, one of those, oh, I'll invest it for you in the market. And then he took their money and just completely either did illegal stuff with it or lost most of it or something like that. Or maybe he like bought some companies or a partial share in a company or a majority share, and then those were all going downhill. So basically it would seem he was like, oh, I need to make up the money. Crap, where do I do it? Okay, one of my other properties or companies that I own makes an AIDS drug that people need, as in not want, they need it, or they will die. Cool, jack up the price, and it went just astronomical. I think it went from like $40 a pill to like $1,000 or just something absolutely stupid like that. And it was just basically to make up the negative balances in other investments or for other people, for customers or other companies or whatever the hell it was. So here's my tip to everybody. If you get convicted of something and you're not a violent criminal, it's some white collar crap and, you know, whatever else, you know, not drug related, whatever, you probably get a sentence reduction. You don't have a criminal history. Maybe you should continue to ride that instead of, and I quote, live streaming on YouTube barely an hour after the verdict was given from his apartment, holding a beer and predicting that the sentence would be close to nil. And if he does go to prison, it would be some, you know, cushy little Club Fed type of place where he would, quote, play basketball and tennis and Xbox for a couple months. I feel like that's probably what he does at home, actually. But basically, between 2009 and 2014, he lost investors $11 million. And I guess that's how he had to make it up, was just immediately, urgently making it up, because he's a terrible investor, apparently. Well, either that or unfortunate circumstances, but I don't know. 2009 wasn't great for investments. 2007 was worse. So indeed, the prosecutor's argument was that he lied to them about how well the funds were doing because they were losing money left and right, you know, from all of his various customers or whatever, or just the properties he was himself investing in were doing poorly. But either way, it was somebody else's money. I mean, that we know. And he just took his healthcare money, the income from the other one, and just said, screw it, let's cover all the debt and the, you know, the losses and everything. I mean, if you're an investment person and you lost people a bunch of money after assuring them that it was a good investment, and then you took personal funds and drew them out of another company and then replaced the money, I don't really see what's illegal about that, but I guess it is. It almost seems like a nice thing to do, but he was obviously just covering his butt so that they didn't like sue him or collapse his company or make him go bankrupt or whatever. You know, I was actually curious. I looked it up. It was about $14 a pill, and he jacked it up to $7.50, which I believe is much worse than I just stated. Oh, and if you're wondering how he could be even more of a scumbag, he actually got banned from Twitter and Periscope, but apparently not Twitch. Okay, I'm not 100% sure that he uses Twitch, but they seriously, their standards need to be a little bit more consistent. But it was because of him getting all pervy about like some magazine editor or something like that, and I don't get if he used Twitter for it, or I don't know. He's basically a complete pervert. He has no morals, no sense of right and wrong. I mean, let's see. Greedy, liar, pervert. For some reason, he has some kind of psychological need to be hated by everybody, which that's a lot of therapy hours to fix that. Like, people like that, they're pretty messed up, for real. And of course he called the entire trial, oh, just a witch hunt, I'm an honest person, blah, 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 blah. Even though it's like, here's numbers on pages proving you're wrong. Oh, no, I didn't do that, blah, blah, blah. See, I mean, he's the type where he'll just go and be like, unregistered assets, yeah, I'm gonna cheat on my taxes. Hey, public, I'm saying it because I'm untouchable. And then he gets convicted, he could get up to 20 years in prison, and oh, I'm sure it'll be just fine, whatever. He lives in his own fantasy world. But really, the worst crime was investing in Power 9. Just some of the follow-up stuff he said about it and the interviews he gave and all this other crap. Oh my god. Also, by the way, FYI, I feel like I should mention this. Rudy looks up to him. He says he didn't do anything wrong and just, he loved him. Now, this was a while ago, full disclosure. But he's like, oh, that's just a business decision. He's so smart. People don't get how investments work. So apparently Rudy shares on his strategy of screw everybody, screw the customers, screw common decency, screw morals, I need money. Which, if you've ever watched Rudy's channel, is pretty much how he operates daily. It's basically a mix of purposely misleading investment tips about Magic, half-truths about investing in Magic, really pervy sexual references that make you question his sanity. I mean, honestly, he basically is Martin Shkreli. They actually look alike. I'm not sure that it's not like him in a wig or like his little brother or something. It could be his cousin. I mean, he really looks like him. So make sure you let Rudy know what you think about him fully supporting Martin and his amazing money-raising technique, I guess. Wow, what a genius. Oh, he's so smart. I do believe that that's basically what Rudy was saying. I could be mistaken. I'm too lazy to look it up. But the good news for all of this is not only is some complete miserable douchebag, it just hated, he's the most hated man in America according to the press, at least at the time. Honestly, probably only because Steve Jobs is already dead. But yeah, he totally is going to get nailed by the sentencing, whatever committee or whoever the hell does it. I don't know crap about legal stuff. And hopefully he gets sent to an absolutely terrible prison. That would be awesome. I mean, either way, they're going to take away his stupid, like, Ray-Bans and his Lamborghinis and whatever, and that's good enough for me. In fact, hopefully he gets the full 20 years. That would actually be hilarious. There's no way he will because of the conditions of how he broke the law, but whatever. I can hope. But the best part about it is he won't be buying up any more Power 9 and hyperinflating the price even higher because, like I've said before, perhaps in this video is kind of edit heavy, but also in other videos, once investors realize that they're all selling Power 9 cards to each other, there are practically no players and no collectors buying them. Uh-oh. The word crash seems a little bit too polite for what would happen. Have you guys seen the movie Armageddon? That's probably more like what it would be. The prices on Black Lotuses would go down so quick, and actually I kind of hope that happens while he's in prison, because then he'll lose all the value, and that'd be really funny. And then he would have to rip them up to see if I was correct about there being gold inside. I'm fairly certain there isn't, by the way. I mean, you could pass a metal detector over your Power 9 just a couple times just to make sure, because, you know, I know all of you have Power 9 cards. But yeah, I figured I'd just, you know, share that little great news with you, and hopefully when he gets sentenced, it'll be a lot. I guess there is some justice in the world. I guess we'll see, though, after sentencing. So watch the news for that, and I will see you guys next video.